Welcome back to part 2 of the Cossor oscilloscopes or oscillographs. This has been corrected. I've replaced quite a few caps, mostly the black Hunt's caps and a couple of electrolytics. You can see where I've actually replaced the caps with the newer yellow ceramics. There. Two inside there. Two on the time base. Sorry, several on the time base. 1, 2, 3 on the time base, 4, 5 with other ceramics, and the main smoothing cap has been restuffed. There's also been an electrolytic here replaced as well, which was that one. The one here could probably do with being replaced as well, but I've done enough at the moment just to get it working. It's not been too difficult to work on. Quite a nice little oscilloscope, really. Quite fun, quite small, quite light. Compared to a Hewlett-Packard one I've got, it is very light and very small. But there we go. Let's get the covers back on it, let's get it connected up and show a few waveforms on the screen. Okay, welcome back. I'm using a Thilby Thunder Instruments TG120 function generator to provide a signal for the scope. At the moment I've got a sine wave going into it. It's about 1 kc and it's about 3.5 volts peak to peak. There's no definite size of what trace it is, so that's basically just what this thing is saying at the moment. One thing I wanted to show you about the time base on this oscilloscope or oscillograph, as I've been corrected. If you notice here, I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 peaks. This one is starting to wrap around the side of the tube that you can still see. It's there. Changing the time base, the speed or velocity, I can go from 5 to 3 to 2 to 1. So that's basically it. It's a completely variable time base with many of the actual switch functions overlapping. If I go up to 10k, increase my speed, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4. Come on, find a locking point. There. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So you can actually change it to display a lot of what you want. As I say, there's no fixed time base 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, etc. Going to 2 and going, if I can make it, to 1. Let's have a better one. Yeah, 1. So that's at 10k. Let's go up to, let me think, 20k. 20k. About there. 40, 60, 80, and 100k. And you can see the voltage is, the display rather, starting to drop down. So that's basically, I think, the limitations of the simple circuits of this thing. Let's take it out. There you go, we're on 100k, 1, 2, 3, 4 peaks. I think 200k, 200k, 400 and 600, 800. That's at 1 meg. So, you know, end of its shall we say useful type of trace. Just about see that one there. Let's give it a bit more voltage. That's at 1 meg. But now I've got a voltage coming in of 2, 3, 4, 5. That's about 6 volts peak to peak going into it. So, as I say, I would tend to say it's around about 100, 200k limitation. Let's go back to something it's more suitable for. Turn the voltage back down. Go to square wave. We have the square wave of 10k going into it. So it could still be used for testing audio amps, that type of thing. Make sure it's focused. Still 10k. Still quite useful. Brilliance, focus, Y shift, X shift. That changes the Y input. Not quite sure what it's meant to do, quite honest. Let me see. Let me plug a 10k signal into that one. Oh, looks like it's no longer DC coupled anyhow. And I don't seem to have any sync. So that's obviously where it gets its sync from. There you go. So back at the 10k signal. So if I go up to say 15k, it would have been plenty good enough to look at time bases on TVs, that type of approach. The obvious thing with this would have been, oh, wind's blowing the curtains, this would have been DC coupled, and most TVs of the vintage days wouldn't have been connected to earth, so this is definitely earthed. So any TVs with this one, and in particular, would have to be via an isolation transformer. I think the Cossor 1039 itself doesn't have an external earth domains. It's just basically via 2-core cable. So that would have been a floating chassis, which would have been, I guess, a bit more suitable with care when fault finding on normal TVs. But there you go, it shows a working set. I'm not quite sure what I'm going to do with all these things once I've actually got them going. I'm starting to get a bit of cluttery in the house. But it's fun to get some of these things working. If this was a 1955-56 version, then let's think we are already talking 67, 68 years old. So it's just nice to get some of them going again. I doubt if I'll get the 1039 going. As I say, that's probably going to go up for offers. Right, thanks for watching. Hope to see you again on another video.